extremely famous, and even though it was not written by the composer who scored the film being Casablanca, as time goes by, it was actually by Hupfeld.
Yeah, right.
Hupfeld. I can't think of his first name, but Hupfeld. Yeah. But Max Steiner scored the film. But do we have a clip?
We sure do. And just to follow up what you just said, he hated this song.
Who did? Steiner?
And as you know, I mean, if you don't, the composer gets to the film at the very end. Basically, the film should be already cut and edited. And so, but there are only a few steps left, adding sound effects, adding music. So by the time he gets to it, they've already said the name of the song, and he blew a top. He said, "You can't use this. This is a terrible song, and we gotta change it." And so he threw a fit. They called Ingrid Bergman up and said, "Can you reshoot the scene?" Well, she's doing For Whom a Bell Tolls. Her hair is short. It's blonde. No way she's going to come back and be Ingrid. So they said, "Max, you've got to do the song." So he did a great job with the song. Made it, and AFI, American Film Institute, lists the top 100 greatest songs in film. It's number 2, next to Over the Rainbow. Wow. So in this scene, we're going to, if you don't know, maybe I should set up what's happening here. Rick fell in love with Ilse in Paris. And for stories, it's too complicated to go into, but she dumped him. And so he's devastated. So he leaves Paris. He goes far away from Paris as he can, which is Casablanca. He opens up a cafe, and he's now just has no feelings whatsoever. He's very superficial. This is reflected in the movie by the fact that you never hear scoring inside of his cafe. No scoring whatsoever, only source music. And the source music is popular, it's happy. Even though people are saying, "I'm desperate to get out of this place." And there's a shooting that goes on, all that stuff, just happy music in the background. Superficial, and that's what Rick is. So at this one point, though, who should walk in all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, who should happen to walk in the door but Ilse with her husband, Laszlo. And so Ilse sees Sam, their old friend, the pianist, first, and asks him to play as time goes by. And so that's when we get this wonderful song, and we get the close-up of beautiful Ingrid Bergman, with sort of teary-eyed, remembering this was their love theme back in Paris. So at that point, we'll see Rick come in, and hears a song, and he's forbidden that song to be played in his place. He goes up angrily, then sees Ilse. And that's suddenly when the scoring starts for the first time.
Oh.
Because he just got punched in the gut. But at least that's an emotional reaction. Boom! There she is.
Huge impact, because it's but subconscious. You don't realize you have it.
And what Steiner does so beautifully is pick up that tune and puts it in the orchestra. So that melody that was just source music now becomes a part of the scoring and will become the leitmotif for their love relationship, both the past and perhaps some of the future. And so they have that theme being played. They'll sit down. Notice in the conversation, it's a brief one at the table, but she'll say, "Oh yes, Paris, we met in Paris." So she says Paris, that theme, their love theme, will play again in the orchestra. But she'll follow that by saying, "But then the Germans came." And so instead of this beautiful string violin melody, suddenly it's low, dark trombones, like Darth Vader, and they're playing the German tune, Deutschland über alles, which is their leitmotif throughout the film. And then Steiner beautifully puts the two together, because for Paris, it was both Paris of their love, and it was also Paris of the Nazis taking over. And so both themes exist for that brief moment. It's a wonderful scoring. Perhaps we should watch it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Sing it, Sam.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by.
Sam, I thought I told you never to play.
Well, you were asking about Rick, and here he is. Mademoiselle, may I present...
Hello, sir.
Hello, Rick.
Oh, you've already met Rick, mademoiselle. Well, then perhaps you also...
This is Mr. Laszlo.
How do you do? How do you do? One hears a great deal about Rick in Casablanca. And about Victor Laszlo everywhere. Won't you join us for a drink?
Oh, no, Rick, never.
Thanks, I will.
Well, a precedent is being broken. Emile?
This is a very interesting cafe. I congratulate you. I congratulate you. What for? Your work? Thank you. I try. We all try. You succeed.
I can't get over you two. She was asking about you earlier, Rick, in a way that made me extremely jealous.
I wasn't sure you were the same. Let's see, the last time we met...
Was La Bella Roar.
How nice, you remembered. But of course that was the day the Germans marched into Paris.
Not an easy day to forget.
No.
I remember every detail. The Germans wore gray. You wore blue.
Yes, I put that dress away. When the Germans march out, I'll wear it again.
Ricky, you're becoming quite human. I suppose we have to thank you for that, mademoiselle.
So in that last clip, we were able to hear clearly the difference between source music, when Sam was playing and singing, and everybody could hear it, and then how it segued immediately into underscoring. And that underscoring will often pick up themes from source music. In that case, they picked up that theme to become the love theme as the leitmotif. Plus, you could hear the symphony orchestra is playing. You can hear that it's wall-to-wall music, all the characteristics of the classical score in that excerpt.
And once again, the subtlety of it, that music just lays in there so quietly.
Yeah.
Is that the definition of a bad music cue, when it jars you?
It could be. Sometimes music jars you because there's nothing interesting going on the screen.
Oh,
So sometimes, I think sometimes the composer might take a bad rap if there's, God, what is this music doing here? It's because your mind has wandered away from the movie, and so it's being distracted. So, but often the case when a composer who hasn't really done his job is drawing too much attention to himself. Maybe his music is interfering with the dialogue, and you're going, I can't really hear what's going on because this music, what's it doing here? So that's the art of being inconspicuous and supportive at the same time is a great art, and that's what Max Steiner and the other classic composers had.
Well, I cannot close